to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and clean my throat. When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the...
Mute the mic. All right. So everybody was asking the rules, right? Good afternoon, evening, or whatever it may be, Poland. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, there has to be some rules. I mean, I didn't make them. Gotta make stuff so fair, otherwise we wouldn't have this, and I would just give them to favorite people, I guess. So, how's everybody going? I'm already starting this bad off. The other night, I'm glad I didn't stream. Was it last night? I could not talk at all. It just kept switching the first letter every word. It seemed I was making up my own words. It was one of those nights I just had to go to bed, I guess. So yeah, probably we'll start off fresh with that and call it a day. Well, maybe not call it a day, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So SwitchBot, and I've got my stuff all mixed up because I'm moving rooms and stuff around and moving camera stuff around. So I'm kind of wishy-washy. So we'll see how things go. Publishing your own rules, right? So yeah, of course you've probably seen the SwitchBot stuff. Let's see. I haven't messed with the curtain yet. I don't really have. I may have one. I don't think they're up. Well, I lie. My son has his Mario curtains in his room, but nothing we really close or open that often because they're very clear. But the SwitchBot thing, that's the gimmicky. I keep bumping the mic. Sorry. I call it kind of gimmicky thing. I don't really have a use for it, I guess. Maybe I got too many other smart devices. But it's that little device. I'm sure you've seen it on many different channels where the little thing comes out and pushes the the physical button, maybe on a coffee pot or something, but I got to load the coffee pot anyway. So, but they do have so the SwitchBot asked me if I wanted to do anything, review them or whatever. I really didn't have a good use for them. So be blunt, I just said, well, hey, we'll just show it and we'll give it away on a live stream, right? Well, the guy came back and says, hey, well, yeah, that sounds great. We'll do 3 winners. They'll ship the products out. So what that means is it opens up the countries for me because I don't have to ship the product out. So the product, the list of countries is not my list. It's because SwitchBot's going to send the stuff out, and so I have to send them your address, and they're a reputable company, I would think. I've heard of them around for a while. So take that into consideration. I'll send the address to them of the 3 people. So it's your email address, your shipping address, etc. The countries are, I'll throw them here in the chat just so we'll have flushing a toilet with a switch. I shouldn't say that. Maybe I would. We'll flush them down the toilet, but that's. So there's the countries there. So in case you can't read, U.S., U.K., CA, that's not California, that's Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, the Netherlands, Romania, if I'm saying it correctly, South Korea, Hong Kong, or Japan. I know there were some Polands and stuff in here, so if you can get some address somewhere else, that's totally up to you. That's your thing. I just thought it was cool that, because when I get stuff, I can ship anywhere, but it doesn't make sense to spend like $20, $30 on shipping a $10 piece. That just doesn't make sense to me. So, so yeah, basically what you get is I'll copy and paste this. Well, I did earlier. Duh, Travis. There's a white one, a black one, the Hub Mini, and the meter. Now, I have had a use for the meter. Where's the stupid button? And my light's not on, but no big deal. So I have the little meter here. It is Bluetooth. And they do have, I'll leave it in the comments, not the comments, the description. The guy sent me, there's an API to it. So if any programmers want to do some programming or whatever with BLE, they do have an API for this stuff. So there's the SwitchBot, there's a black one, and no, yours will not come apart unless you really want it to. There's a hub that's just basically, which is this guy here, of course, where we take shit apart, right? Switch. So I guess that does bring the question to it. We just don't want to enter everybody. I think you got to do the thing with SwitchBot. I did look at, which I thought was neat, is I'll turn the light on later. This one actually here is the ESP8266. This is the Bluetooth chip right here. And they did have a pinout on the back. Where's my button? Look at this. Watch, I got automation. Come on, there you go. I should have turned it away first, right? So I just need an automatic arm. But the problem I had, I did pin this out the other day to see how it would match up. They have a bunch of TX and GPIO 0, 3.3 volts, but I couldn't get the RX pin. I don't know if it's just not traced out, even though it says it is. I was trying to see if I could flash this thing without having to solder to the little there you can see you can see the expressive logo on it. I need to spend more time just trying to pin it out. I will say it's a little pricey for a Bluetooth bridge with Tasmota, and it does have IR. So there's IR right here. And over here in an LED, I'm not sure what kind of LED is on it. But yeah, it's like $40, I think it is. Given that you can probably go get an ESP32 for a lot cheaper than $40. So, this is more designed to kind of tie in with their ecosystem. I guess this is kind of the bot combo. I guess if I should switch back to the thing, Travis. Yeah, this is kind of, what is that? What is that piece? Is that the motion sensor? I didn't know they had a motion sensor. I guess that's the performance pack. I'm not sure what that is. I was just trying to see if they had any other packs of them, but I guess not. I did check out the humidifier because my wife likes to crank up the damn heater, and I always got a humidifier going. What's up, Boiler Boy? Yeah, I'm not messing up some of the comments. I'll catch up. So I did check out the humidifier, and the FCC photos have an ESP32 inside. So I thought that was kind of cool. But where is Mr. Nightbot? Let's see. Let me catch up on comments right quick. Ordered some meters and guessing they'll be in next millennium. SwitchMoto, Xiaomi's, yep. Oh, that clickiness. Yeah, we'll probably hit on that one later. So again, let's look at, is there like a rule thing in here? Well, y'all can help me out on this. I just don't do Nightbot stuff a whole lot. Where's the giveaway thing? Is it because my screen is... Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so we can do it with the keyword thing, right? So don't pay attention to this list right here. I'm sorry. I don't want to put everybody in there because they got a limited list of countries. So I know I saw some Australia people. I'm sorry, Poland. I'm not sure why they don't ship to those. Let's see. Keyword is yeah, we'll what were y'all saying? We'll just do keywords. Well, keyword SwitchBot. There we go. Everybody is... Y'all gonna blow up the freaking comments. Active you... Oh, keyword, supporter, luck. Supporter gets no extra luck. That's good. We don't want to slant it. Regulars get no extra luck. And, okay, don't hit the roll it yet, Travis. All right. And we're doing this all backwards, right? What does a dot mean on here? Mark eligible? Is there like a timeout or anything on here? I don't think so. Oh, do we not want the anti-spam automatically? Okay, maybe it's disabled. I don't want to click that in case I don't want to mark anybody. So it looks like I only got Victor, and I guess Victor was chatting and didn't. So we're gonna do this 3 times, and I'll send the info, and then y'all gonna hit me up on Discord. Yeah, probably the best way is on Discord. You'll have to tell me which winner you are, and we'll go from there. So it looks like you can. So we have 42 people? Man, that's not too bad. Look at that. He got a little lightning bolt. So again, US, UK, California. Look, I'm screwing it up. Canada, France. No, I haven't been drinking anything. France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Romania, South Korea, Hong Kong, or Japan. So, you broke me? I didn't break you. Oh, how did I do that? Yeah, I'm going to go through and I'm going to mark everybody. If I see anybody that's off, look, Marcin, I don't know if Marcin's supposed to be on there. Is it, maybe it's putting, we'll just mark you. If you don't want to win, jump back in the chat and say, hey, I don't want to win. So I'm going to wait till, I got a timer somewhere on this damn thing somewhere. 15, 16, 10. So we'll wait another 10 seconds and then we'll do one. So Pat, if you don't already been in, you got to put the keyword SwitchBot. I think it's somewhere, whatever, I'm backwards or something over there. I'm going to go back and look. Look, Patrick's not. Look, Patrick, going to win? Better hurry up, Patrick. I'm going to call SpongeBob. Some Krabby Patties. We'll put you in anyway. There you go. Look at it, Patrick. All right. We're going to do it once and then we'll go from there. All right. So there's John Curran. And we just got 2 more. And if you didn't already enter, you don't see your name, I'm going to kind of run up and down. I know there's a delay. That's kind of what I know I do talk a lot and everything, but there is a delay. So I do want to still give people a chance to put in the keyword of SwitchBot. So yeah, John, hit me on a Discord maybe, or there's a Discord link. It should pop the Discord link. Shoot me a PM. And then we'll do it again. Let me roll them down the list right quick. Got 65 peeps. Oh, Jeff Hammer. Jeff Hammer gets in there. So about I gotta make it fair for everybody, right? And then we'll roll it. Jim! Look at cool man Jim. He says, I just need a SwitchBot, bro. Home Ace. I am not have you seen some of my videos? I'm not fast about anything. Jim is out. And I should be making notes of this. Well, I can just watch the stream again myself, right? And I can be bored. Jim got entered again somehow. I don't want to you can't win twice. If somebody gets hit twice, you can't win twice. Marcin, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Demansky? That's how I would say it. Nope. Why you say nope? I said it wrong or just wrong? You're in a country that they didn't list. So, oh, you're from Poland. Ugh, okay. Not that I'm picking on Poland. Okay. So roll it again. Just let me know and I'll roll it again. All right, so we're going to roll it again because he's in Poland. So, all right, we got Studios. Hopefully Studios. I think I did go click your name to make sure and put the thing in there. So, shouldn't be a 30-second lag. All right, so we got the 3 done. You're going to get the 2 SwitchBox. Everybody say, hey, appreciate it to SwitchBot. You get the hub thing that goes on your Wi-Fi. That way you can, I guess I'll at least, let me pull up the app at least and watch somebody's going to text me at the same time. It was pretty easy to pair on the Wi-Fi and whatnot. But of course it seems to be cloud-based and whatnot, so. Let's see. But it did have like, I don't know if you can be able to see my phone or whatever, just so we can. So it did have like the chart and everything showing like the temperature and humidity and stuff like that. And that was because I had the hub unplugged. So it's the chip is, we can zoom in on the let me fix this. Hold up. Let me move this so y'all not freaked out or get sick. So I thought the hardware was kind of cool, but, and I'll fix the zoom once it stops shaking. If we can be able to see it. So it's ESP8266 and the hardware was, let's see. Okay, so I got Jim's info. I need I got Jim Curum, I think it was, or John Curum, I can't remember. Looks like. And who is the other one? Studios, send me a message on Discord or maybe somehow an email. And then who was the other one? I went blank. Why did I go blank? Send me y'all's info. Yep. Oh yeah, Jim Hardy. That was the other one. I'm looking for the link because I sent that info of the chipset that was used. All right, let me get back. Like I say, I'm all mixed up. That's weird. I guess because Night Reader does not like this web page. Yeah. So this was the chipset that was in there. It's connected to. I haven't pinned out the whole thing, but yeah, it's connected to it somehow. But yeah, there's two IRs. Looks like there's an IR here. And then another IR says U8 and then U7. And I don't know what kind of, it's just, maybe it's just a little one LED, but it looked like there was additional, and the focus is all, I don't know if those are receive LEDs and then these are send LEDs maybe. I could be wrong because I see there's 3 gates right here. So maybe that's dealing with, I haven't played with all of it with the IR. Yeah, so it's because it has the case is trans. I don't know if we can tell in here. Nah, you really can't tell. You can't tell there either. It's very translucent. So I guess we can put it right here. You can see. So you can see it's opaque, diffuser, translucentish. That's a word. And then the other side, there was nothing on the other side really crazy. There was the WinBond memory chip on the back, and then that pinout. But I haven't gone through. There was GPIO 0. And like I say, I found I want to say it was TX on the ESP8266, but pin number 2, I didn't find it. So I don't know if it was not mapped all the way. And then there's, I should back this up. There's a antenna here, RF1, and then there's RF2. I'm assuming this is for the Wi-Fi, and then this one's for the Bluetooth chipset. Now, one thing that would be a gain over doing it with the ESP32, and someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but since the ESP32 is sharing the same transceiver, that it switches from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth very quickly. So this one's going to be secondary, where you have a chipset that does just the Bluetooth, and then you have just the Wi-Fi. So, yeah, no, it's just connect. It basically, it allows you, I guess, if you want to hook up the SwitchBot, because right now you can just buy the straight up SwitchBot. And you can buy the straight up SwitchBot and just use it using Bluetooth on your phone. And you don't have to have any hub or anything like that. And then, let's see if I can get it to work. There it goes. So you don't have to, you'd have to be right close to it. But then the hub, from my understanding, is it'll actually go through the cloud, hit the SwitchBot in the house. Same thing for doing the little thermometer here type deal. So that way it can track and make the little graph like I showed. So that's my understanding of it. So I don't think they have, but I don't know all their stuff, and I'm trying to fix my stuff again. Yeah, and that's way out of focus. I'm so ready to get my... I had the camera. Santa brought my other camera early, but I played with it and it was impressive. But I'm going to get that set up eventually. So, yeah, there is a... I did see there's a home assistant integration. What was it? SwitchBot. Now, is it going to be for the hub? I haven't played with it. I saw it, and I just haven't played with the control SwitchBot devices. Okay, that's just so. I haven't played with it. Not yet. Products. What are you asking about? So I saw there's a solar panel, thermometer, remote, hub mini. No, I do not see a relay. I see a remote. Is that what that is? Yeah. Oh, that's a handheld remote. I guess you could really stick it to the wall, though. See, this is... no hate, and you just know what I'm going to say right now. If you watched the video this morning, just you know what I'm going to say. So, but that's just not my thing, I guess. Yeah. So enough about SwitchBot. I went way over SwitchBot more than I wanted to. So, so what's everybody else up to? Yeah, I don't think I would. Yeah, I could say it's for renters. It's probably the best thing. If you really can't do anything, is for the renters. So, I don't know if anybody makes a Bluetooth smart plug. So, what else are we gonna do? I had nothing really like crazy. I want to do the giveaway deal. So I have been playing. I have installed the integration of Tasmota and switching gears on my dev box. I just haven't gone to it on my production yet. And Let me move all this out the way. But I did it on my dev little box, and I haven't had any issues with it. I thought it was kind of cool. And most of the stuff, I know, like the stuff for 9.2, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff. Now, there's a couple things I haven't played with yet, and I know I probably need to, and Frederico's probably going to kill me because he's the Tuya MCU whisperer. Is the Tuya enum and the Tuya enum list. Yeah, and I did check out that, Sir Goodenough, is the iFan 03 is in 9.2. So I thought that was kind of cool that finally you don't have to put that, and you know how crazy that template is for the iFan 03 to put that into Home Assistant. So yeah, and there's like seems to be 2 or 3 templates, and just so some people, if you wondered about, and this is the one I've used, I actually switched. Now I didn't publish it because I actually did a bunch of rules and simplified mine. Where is it at? iFan. This template was nuts. It's not crazy compared to some, but this is the YAML you have to put into. It's crazy what you got to put into there. So, he's still trying to win SwitchBot. You may want to fast forward or backwards. Never mind. Sorry, KK, I'm not picking on you at all. I normally try to pick on myself just so I stay safe. So yeah, that's cool. What else did they do? So probably nobody was using this yet, so I thought that was cool. That was good. I've been watching this one. I do have one Shelly dimmer, and if you're wondering what that is about, is SwitchBot, this might be right, is that you have to, there's a secondary chip, much like on the Tuya dimmers and the other Tuya modules, you have that secondary MCU. Well, you don't flash that on TuyaMCU for Tasmota. Well, the Shelly dimmer, you have to flash that secondary chip, and then you also have to put Tasmota on it. Yes, I know that's with the enums to do that fan, and I guess I need to pull one out. Yes, if you're doing Zigbee bridge over MQTT, that can probably get very crazy, and I would probably want to shoot myself in the head if I had to do that all in Home Assistant YAML. I would probably just do some transformation with rules or Node-RED or something. So, what else? I haven't done that one yet. I did check out I don't know when you added this, the Tuya Send 8. I thought that was pretty cool. And I haven't played with that yet. So let's do one. If you're wondering what that's about, everybody, and we don't want to turn I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea if we turn it on. It just makes the light do weird crap. Is where what was it? Tuya Send 8. Yeah. So what you're looking at, if you're wondering, I know we're like just jumping off the deep end here. There's all the DP IDs are the data point IDs for like the relay in the dimmer, the dimmer itself, the dimmer value. This fan has also the fan relay, then the fan speed. So there's multiple DP IDs. And so this is an easy way that because most of the time people have already just flashed the firmware and they don't have the stock firmware, and then they don't want to deal with having to go sniff the RX and TX lines with the original software like some people do. You can just go and identify the DPIDs. So, yeah, I thought about that, but I don't ever come in here. I mean, I know some of the other people were complaining about the, I wouldn't say complaining, but it's always something that comes up. Is like on a dimmer, I get this question all the time. Hey, I just flashed XYZ dimmer, and I'm pressing the buttons, and this slider is not changing. Why? Is it broken? I'm changing it in Home Assistant, but it's not changing. Well, this display on there doesn't refresh. This is really just meant to test with. Once you set it up, you don't have to come back in here. I don't. Maybe you're just using Tasmota, maybe, but I'd use Home Assistant and Node-RED. So, yeah, I haven't looked at this one in probably a couple months. So, and typically I don't even navigate this except the one time I'm testing it. I'll just jump into console and just want to see things. So, so yeah, I thought that was cool. The DPID, and I'm skipping the release notes already for some reason. Where's it at? What else? I don't have one of these yet. The capacitive fingerprint sensor. And I think Patrick was playing with some RFID card reader stuff. Yeah. The toggle one was the fan, I believe. Yeah, because the fan is first, and then the dimmer has to be second because it ties the dimmer slider to the last one. So... And now we start. Yeah, the SwitchBot stuff was way too long. Y'all kept asking questions about the SwitchBot. It's all y'all's fault. That's what it is. See, look, and then y'all advertise on other YouTube channels and stuff. No, it's all good. There was another feature that I saw in here. We were just talking about it earlier. Me and PCDM. Was it in here or was it the previous version? It was it was the GP. What you remember, Frederico? Was the GPI? Yeah, that's the Wemo. It's the Wemo emulation. I think for doing the Hue Wemo stuff with like directly control with the Amazon. I almost said it. The Amazon voice assistant. Yeah, you know I'm messing with you, sir. Good enough. I'm just joking with you. That don't bother me. There was a option that you could do on. Let's see. I'm looking for my other switch I have here on my other screen. Because I've run into this a couple times. No, the GPIO high low, Frederico. I saw that like in the last change notes or the previous change notes. I'll know for a fact which version it was if... Oh, so they that's good that they've y'all really want to test it and see how if your Alexa starts off. So I don't know if it was in here or not. Yeah, output high, output low. When was that added? You remember, Frederico? Output. Yeah, look, there it is. I'm probably a version behind. Look at that. That was added 9.0. Okay. That's way back. I thought that was a cool feature. I just didn't see it till now. Yeah, and if you're wondering what that is, it's sometimes for, we were talking about one with device groups, and I'll get the tab eventually. Yeah, you don't have to back up ESP home. You should be just backing that folder up already. It's just the YAMLs. The GPIO, if you do output high and low or low, basically what that is say, for instance, you're doing a switch that is has a physical relay, but you're capping it because you want to do a device group and you want to control a set of smart bulbs, but you don't want to just leave that relay floating per se and be able to turn on even though you do have it capped. You can basically kind of hard code your device to always hold that relay either on if you're not capping it, or if you do cap it, you can hold it the other way, vice versa, so that relay never ever changes. I used to have to do that with some rules at boot, but now you can just do it right here in the template or the module. So so what are y'all backing up in WLIT? I guess all the stuff, all the segments and everything, I guess. Yeah, because I don't think they had did they have a backup option? See, I did all of mine. I took all the animations and I did them all in MQTT. So yeah, see, I took all of my presets because I had so many issues with them staying synced. I took all of the presets and I stuck them in MQTT, and then they all stay. Yeah, I could wipe mine, and it would be nice for some of the names and stuff, but I wouldn't care about the favorites. But I know not everybody's not me, so yeah, the sync stuff drove me nuts. It drove me nuts last year, and it drove me nuts this year. And I was like, wait a minute, we can just do this and send over all of the different favorites over MQTT to the different devices, and they stay in sync perfectly. So, what else? There was nothing. There was a lot of Zigbee fixes. There was nothing really. I say there's nothing really crazy for the typical user that probably needs to upgrade to 9.2 that I can think of. So I know I'm not trying to, unless Federico has something. Now there was a lot of different stuff in 9.1 and everything. I saw they added this, that the Zigbee visual map in actual Tasmota. I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see if I have. I know they added it in the HAs. I want to see what mine looks like right quick before I bring it over. Yeah, so if you haven't seen this in the new version of Home Assistant, if you go to visualization, and yeah, I actually got a little bit more of the mesh thing going on. I picked up a couple router devices. But most of my stuff is all battery devices. I think I got 2 plugs on right now. So, and Mark, you were asking about this. I'll show you right now. Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured, Federico. Kind of a catch up on things. Not that there wasn't much work put in, but it just wasn't like a massive, like for the typical user doing light switches and light bulbs and stuff like that. I don't think there's a big need for them to upgrade to 9.2. Say if they're on 9.1 to go to 9.2 for like some typical light bulbs or something. So that's the one I would like to see, and I haven't seen any work on it. The Zigbee to MQTT with that Tasmota sonar bridge would be great. Yeah. Don't don't upgrade all. I wouldn't call it. I do. You talking about a bunch of. I have a bunch of stuff in YAML, some stuff in set option 19, and then I'll have some stuff in the Tasmota integration with Home Assistant. So it's. I wouldn't if something's working fine one way, just leave it. Put your new stuff in there, unless you're really like super OCD. So, yeah. Oh, you're talking about upgrading Tasmota? Yeah. If they're working fine like they are, let them be. Um, let's see what else. I need to bring this down for me. I had something on mine, and then I went blank on it for some reason. Oh, Mark, you were asking about this sensor. Was the motion? The Zigbee, not that one. This one. I know it's like massive on the screen. Yeah. So I did put this one versus the Wise motion sensor, and it did come out. I didn't see any issues with it. Here it is here. So I put them side by side, and I didn't see. I know it's kind of hard to see. I had another graphic. Let me see. Let me go put it over here. Let me find the graphic. I saved a graphic of them side by side. I wonder if it'll let me pull up two pictures at the same time. Yeah. So this is the unofficial test of, if I can get all this laid out on my screen right, on my little live stream screen. If it's not going to overlap, I could probably copy and paste them into Word or something like that. And drag this one up. And now I can't see the other one. So I didn't see any, there was like no differences that I went through and saw. There was like no, I didn't have any false positives or anything like that. I didn't see anything to complain about on that sensor. So, yeah, I would probably be better to do it in Grafana. So yeah, that's the, where's, I know it's in here somewhere. This one, I think I listed it. I listed them here. Yeah, this one here. That's that this sensor there. So communicate to an ESP with a smartphone via USB OTG directly connected to control a few relays. Trying to think how you would do if you could let you mount USB. I'm not sure. I don't know about that one. You may have to look. Yeah, you may look. That's the only thing I think of first is look at Tasker. So, not sure what else. That's kind of a very weird one. I would say yes on the Zigbee versus let's just go look. For US based, I mean, because that's the thing. There's, let's see, Z-Wave door sensor. Yeah, see, look, that's crazy. $35, $45, $30, 35. That's a door hinge. Now see, here's now this that Echo Link. There's another. I would say up in Aquaria. Look, there's Aquaria. Okay, that's Zigbee. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. And I'm not a Z-Wave person at all. Because of all the Z-Wave issues I had in the past. Zigbee door sensor. Let's see how good the search is. Now, of course, now you can find them probably even cheaper on Ali and stuff like that. There was another. Here it is. This Linkind. They weren't too bad, and I believe several people in Discord were talking about those, the Linkind. Now they did pair. I know for a fact. I'm pretty sure they paired them up with the Zigbee to MQTT. I don't know if they did it with the Tasmota Zigbee or ZHA. I just don't know. So, but their only complaint on these was the writing was on like the side, I think on the side, and the same thing on the plug was weird. So, but Linkind's there was another deal. I don't know if it's still out there. If you're into the Zigbees, was it plug? There was a plug and a button, and it was like $10. I don't know if they sold out of them though. Linkind. I don't know if somebody I can find that. Zigbee plug. Yeah, it was right here. Look, is it unavailable now? It's $20. Yeah, it was crazy. They had this plug, and that plug did add. And I know I probably like I'm here. I'm telling y'all something from the past, but that plug and the button was like $10, and they had it on deal for like a couple of weeks. Same thing, like some of their lights were on sale. And maybe keep an eye out for them. Every once in a while, go search. If you're really been into Zigbee stuff, go search for the Linkind, if I'm saying the name right. They had a lot of different Zigbee stuff, and there was really good prices on them too. So go keep an eye on that if you're into as much as Zigbee devices. So custom DIY thermostat. Yeah, I haven't done any of that stuff. That's just more than one of those Murphy's Law thing that my DIY thermostat would always break. Yeah. So, break when I'm gone is what I'm getting at. What other questions we got? I know we had. Well, I didn't really have any set stuff here. I'm just looking through all my windows while y'all chit chat or whatever. I was just trying to do like say an hour, and nothing crazy. I'll open a can of worms. What does everybody think? And be absolutely truthful and blunt. What do you think about the Home Assistant Blue thing? I'm gonna click on this and I'll show you what I think. No thanks. View cart. No thanks. Turn this off. Check out. I don't know if it's gonna let me on here. Calculate shipping. Let's just do. Here we go. We found 15. Looks like the cheapest for me is $17.66. So 17.66 plus 159, and I probably including tax. I was at 172 for some reason, but now it looks like it's at 177. So I think it's a good idea for somebody that doesn't do a whole lot of tinkering. Now, what Home Assistant users are those? But I don't know. I know this. I know I'm probably gonna be able to find a bunch of them, but to me, it just seems. I guess the one standout is the eMMC 128 gig. That's the one standout on it. But SSD prices are so cheap now. You just not. You could go get. It seems to me. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me in most areas you can probably go find a little refurb x86 processor that probably has a little more power, a little more flexibility. Now it does pull more power, being electricity, but you got a better upgradability by you could change stuff out by just regular PC parts probably. So that's just my thing. Yeah, see, I didn't want to. Yeah, I say that the one big thing is really gonna have, if you're really set on that Pi 4, like, hey, I've got to have that Pi 4. It's super small. It's really great on power. It doesn't. I mean, when I say power, I'm talking actually power draw from the wall. I have high electricity cost. I want to keep my electricity costs down. I don't want to have a bunch of heat dumping in the house, and I got very limited space. I could see that. So, Odroid H2 Plus. H2 Plus. What is that? Was that x86 base? Yeah. See, now you're talking. I guess I don't want to be. And I know there's a lot of support for it in a Linux world, all these different processors, but it just seems to me I would want to be like in the x86 market, and that way you can get a lot of the different parts and pieces, and then all the software you can run on it and everything. It just seems to me that's what you'd want to do. But I guess it's down to it. Do you want something that you can just take out the box and just plug it in and go? But again, it goes back to where are those Home Assistant users that don't tinker is the thing. So yeah. And I know it's not really for me at all because, and I know several of us, and we're going to be very biased because I know several of us already have a server or something. You're running a VM or Docker containers or whatever it might be. So you're like, I don't even want to mess with any little small PC things because you're used to those 3-second reboots, that you've been having for a year. So, yeah, the laptop's a really great solution. And I know several people use the laptops for running Home Assistant, VM, whatever it may be. And if you can find a refurb laptop, now the only thing is the batteries on them. But a lot of times you can find the batteries fairly cheap. But you think about it with a laptop, you got a keyboard, you typically got a mouse with a little touchpad, You got the power supply. You've got low power. You got the screen, so you can see any. You don't have the terminal or anything. And you've got built-in battery backup because if your battery works, and all right there in one-stop shop. Yeah, I mean an old laptop, freaking perfect. The only thing with the laptop, make sure in the BIOS you can go turn off all the sleep stuff, and then when you close the cover, you want to be able to turn that off too. Yeah. So, yeah, I can see. Yeah, that is very true, Mark, with because some of all the different chipsets and stuff in different parts and pieces on the laptop. So if you can find a laptop that's supported by Linux very well, so then you're not going to be in too bad. So yeah, and if it comes with whatever on it, you can throw Proxmox on it, or yeah, and I would say stick with those with the Dell laptops. I like the Dell laptops, so some of the HPs aren't too bad either. Yeah, the Nook is a good option, but the some of the Nooks can get expensive. So like I know they're like, and I know I'm just pulling up one like an i7 Nook. Some of those can get stupid expensive. Yeah, see, and then, like you can spend $800 on the Nook, but of course I just pulled up i7 Nooks. So, yeah, I think Habitat is a great solution for those non-tinkering folk. Where I wouldn't say non. They're I'll call them the half tinkerers. They're not, they want something that's not fully having to get scary with all the YAML and whatever. Which I know Home Assistant's getting rid of a lot of that, which is good in most cases. But I don't think they're just there yet. I do like to see that they do get into the hardware game. Now, are they hiring anybody to support any hardware issues? Is one of my questions. Is it going to add any additional support strain on them? So, yeah, I ran Smart Things, and it lasted all of like 2 months. So, Nextcloud coming to Home Assistant. You can run Nextcloud right now, can't you? It's just a Docker container. If you're thinking about the right software. Yeah, Nextcloud. It's your kind of like your own Dropbox per se. Yeah, you can run that now. I don't know if there's like an official Home Assistant add-on, but it's just a Docker container, and you can install your own. I think you can install your own Docker containers on. Just install Portainer, or you can get the command line and do it. But yeah, I've run Nextcloud for a while. Yeah, I thought that was weird. Why they didn't include? I can understand not including Z-Wave because there's Z-Wave, and I know I want to go back to that real quick. You were asking why there's a lot of higher prices on Z-Wave stuff. And I think that's due to volume, that the Z-Wave frequencies are different in different countries. But Zigbee is pretty much going to be the entire world, if I remember right. And so if you make Zigbee, well, you can make one product pretty much for the entire, especially battery powered. You can make one product for the entire world. Yeah. I guess maybe I'm confused with the run in. What would you run it in Home Assistant for? Yeah, and I know they kind of opened up Z-Wave, but they had all that stupid royalty stuff too. I remember that. Yeah, I've run Nextcloud on the side of it. But yeah, you just run a Docker container and we pointed our apps to it. So I'm not what you mean you run. Yes, Aquaria is a pain, and there's a reason why. Was it was it Zigbee quirks? Yeah. When you go look at the quirks, and it's what do they support on the quirks? It was like all Aquaria stuff. I can't find. I just can't find it on here. Yeah, they were all like when you go look at the quirks. So basically, the quirk was, from my understanding, was like a special setup configuration, like kind of like a driver per se of these the Aquarius, and it was like all Aquarius stuff. I think that's what it was. If I can find, I thought it was a list of them. That was weird. You posted, you found it in Discord? Oh, you posted the, we're jumping topics here. That's fine. The HASIO Nextcloud backup. Oh, so y'all wanting to back up your snapshots to Nextcloud. Gotcha. Okay. So I was confused because Nextcloud, I was like, it's just a Docker. You can just run it. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's good and bad, Mark. It's kind of like the whole Apple Android thing is. It seems like Z-Wave has more of a lockdown on it, which makes the cost go up. Same thing about, iPhones, where they're just the only one making them, but you're going to get the same product. So maybe that's why, you want to pay that for Z-Wave. Plus Z-Wave in most places is 900 megahertz. That does cause me issues, but may not cause others. But then you kind of get the wild, wild west with the Zigbee stuff. But hey, just buy what you know it works on Zigbee and save money and roll with it is what I say. So my setup, Josh, is I have three. I have let me see if I can find, I have one, they all look kind of the same. I'm lucky my GUI doesn't have a bunch of yellow stuff on here. It usually does have yellow. This is normally what it looks like. We just don't use the GUI a lot. I run just core container, and I think I have one or two automations. Everything else is done in Node-RED or with Tasmota rules. And I don't run supervisor on this. I do run a test system with supervisor, which would be this one. But this is kind of how my thing look. Is just typically with the yellow, but that's just me. Yeah, so typically I have I run Unraid, and let me see if I can pull that up right quick. I know I get this question a bit, and I do plan on, I got another server, an older server I'm going to build, and I know I've get people asking all the time of like, hey, how do I build Unraid, and how do I put Home Assistant set up in QTT, and so if you look at this is going to be like, I have Tasmo backup that runs here. There's Deep Stack that runs here. I got two ESP homes, Nginx. I got a Unify controller. I got a Home Assistant that's running in here. And that I have all my Docker containers. And if I want to force an update, I can hit update, or, I get notifications through Discord. saying if I want to update any of my Docker containers. Some of them are on auto update, and I do run a separate MQTT, and so they do have kind of like their app store. Is you can come in here and see, like here I got apparently there's a upgrade to their community application, so I'll just let that upgrade. But like, for instance, I switched over to Wise to MQTT. Well, I went and did a template for Wise, which they're real simple to do. You pull your own Docker containers, and then I just went and set up the configuration. And so now when users come in here, they can come in here and they just hit the install button. And it pulls the container, puts it in. And so if I wanted to do, I don't know, let's see if I can get the menu out here. Because I'm the screens. Let's see, updated apps. So let's see. How about if we do new? So if I wanted to come in here and install, well, here there's Portainer. There's a G Cloud backup. I don't know what Omdia. Oh, that's TP Links. I guess their wireless access point. So you could just come in here and click and go. If I wanted to install it, I could look. You see, it's already set up. Here's all the host path. Here's all the ports. Someone's already done all this work for it and did all the config, kind of like with the add-on store of Home Assistant. And then you just hit apply. It pulls the Docker container and starts it and sets it up, and you're rocking and rolling. Typically, you just jump into the web GUI and rock and roll. So, yeah, and now Unraid, there is a cost for it. I'm not gonna lie there. There is a cost for Unraid. So one-time cost. If you do like 6 drives, then it's $60, and of course you 12, so and so forth, and y'all can read. So especially if it's just numbers. But yeah, I've been using Unraid probably 4 or 5 years now. So yeah. Oh, you paid $69 for the Pro 10 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, so I like it. It spoils me on a lot of the features because, for instance, and I know I've probably told this story 100 times. I should, like I said, I'm gonna do that video of the new. I did an older one, and I wanted to do a new one. I've got several drives around because I actually want to build it, and then it'll be my off-site backup. That's not cloud. And so yeah, I do want to do that one, and it just makes I had ran Unraid. I had MQTT installed and everything before I even knew what Home Assistant was. And I honestly, before I knew what Home Assistant was, I really had went to I was cruising around in the. I got this all mixed up in the chat, so y'all gonna get pissy with me. Was it home? Yeah, home. I was looking in the home automation section, and I was just scrolling through, and I was like, okay, a blank server. There's Dahua, Decons. There's DeepStack, Demodices. I installed that one. There was all kinds of stuff, and I went through and I was like, what's this? And that wasn't Home Assistant Core. I was just like, what's this Home Assistant? I was like, the thing looks cool. So I just clicked it and started it. And I think that was way back before they had all the onboarding and stuff. And so it was right there in the GUI, and it found like my Rokus and all my Google Homes and a printer or something. I was like, it's pretty cool. Within a few seconds, I was sending text to speech through my Google speakers, and I had smart things, and I was just trying to do that, and it was just this deep rabbit hole, and I'm like, holy crap, I just clicked on something, and then there's software that's sending automation stuff to my Google Assistants already, And so that's when I jumped into Home Assistant. So yeah, that's how the long story of it. The other, now I know there's I'm not going to go into the whole ZFS versus what they do, but the one really cool thing about the hard drives is you don't have to. I don't want to show my, well, in case I did, but whatever. Is if you have multiple hard drives, they don't have to be the same size, and you can actually, so you could start off with like 2 or 3, like say 3 or 4 gig and 3 or 4 terabyte drives or whatever size. And then you could add one without having to redo the array, and you could just continually to add. I actually started off with like 3 6 terabyte drives, and I think now I have, and no, this isn't the mine's bigger than yours contest, because I know where I've got 7 8 drives totaling out to 50 terabytes of space. So, and I haven't had to remake that array. Yeah, the one, someday I see, I'll knock on wood, I haven't had downtime. The one thing about the drive, if you do lose more than your parity, the array will not rebuild, which is typical, but you will not lose those because it's not stripped across the whole, or striped, or I'm going to say across the whole array. So you would still have those files accessible on those drives. So, yeah. It just depends on what you want to do. So I went and looked at like open was it Open Media Vault or something like that, or some, there was some other NAS. There was free NAS. There was a couple. I looked at Unraid. I looked at like 4 or 5 when I was, because I had a Drobo that I wanted to smash into 1,000,000 pieces, and so I had to get out of that quick. And then so I found that, I just kept going back to Unraid. So, but so go try them all. They do give you a and this is not a commercial. I'm not affiliated with them at all. Go try them out. They have like a 30-day trial on Unraid. If you can find like an old, if you have some old, I had like an old like 3-core AMD desktop with like 2 hard drives in it, and that's what I was testing with. So go play around with it. Check them all out. That's what I did. And I played around with transferring files. I played, and then it also gives you opportunity, whatever one you choose, go simulate some failures. Pull some hard drives, make it fail, make it rebuild, replace some hard drives, and that way you know what to do during that time of when you actually have a drive failure. No matter which one you have, I think you should always go and simulate the drive failures. So, because it's just not stressful then, you know. So, who are we talking about? Tuya Convert. Yeah. And if there's another little PSA, no matter go back up your data. You should have multiple copies of your data in multiple places, and go test backing, restoring that data. I'm like, how many times that no one goes and tests the restoration of their data? Go test that. So, yeah, the hard, it's all software it's all software rated, so that it does that cache drive, which can be a little bit slower. So, but I think they're great for media servers. So, what else we got? Any other questions? We did the long SwitchBot thing for forever. So what's the future then for stuff like lighting? We can talk a little bit about, yeah, I can say that stuff is just stop. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but don't wait until you convert. I think they've done I think they've done a really good job at. I mean, it's been what, January they started blocking this firmware, and here we are almost a year later, and we're nothing yet. There's gonna be stuff. One good thing like is for with Atom. I don't know if you've seen if this is right, I call it at home, but Atom. But they have a lot of stuff that's already pre-flashed with Tasmota. Yeah, so you're saying Anthem, but it's Atom. They did fix, which I did look at. I did get their bulb and and I'll post this in here. I did get their, was it the large? I want to say it was a 15-watt bulb. And so you can come in and pick the firmware you want, and it does come. And they did fix the issue with the template I told them about. They bumped the templates down, and then the whole memory thing. And so the defaults come, and it shouldn't overwrite your template. And I did notice whenever it was pairing, it was pulsing through the color, so you can see it test. So yeah, that's kind of my plan B until the LOHAS is not. These guys, I just bought another pack of them December 9th, and I did post a picture. That was my picture of let me pull it up here. Where's the page? Yeah, so there's the that link. That's to say there's that affiliate link, but however you want to get them, just get them. That was my photo that I did. I'm pulling it up here on my other screen so you don't see all my kid pictures and other crap. Dog pictures. Yeah, so that is that I actually did this. This is I bought 20 bulbs or so, and Tuya converted all of them. They all went fine. So, but that was when they had a sale on them. I want to say they were like half the price or something like that. Yeah, the Wi-Fi does suck on them. I'll tell you that for a fact. And we have talked about that in the past. And I do have a photo way back on my most unwatched. It has the trophy of my most unwatched video. But comparing the new LOHAS and the old, I think they made a mistake on the antenna where it's too close to the ground plane. So, but no, and those photos in the end of today's video are not all of mine. I don't need an intervention. Well, maybe yet. So, but with that said, is Treat Life, which I was talking about, Treat Life has changed that fan controller to that and I know not everybody wants to swap ESP chips, but supposedly, which I do have the whole one holdout, I will say, and I have talked to them several times, is the Martin Jerry people. Is like, for instance, you'll notice this one is still ESP based, and this is and I know, and this kind of goes against something that I had heard from other people, and I'm gonna fix the focus. Just give me a second. is they were saying that, hey, you can't have any new dimmers or switches or devices that have a Tuya MCU cannot use an ESP. They do have a 3-way dimmer, Jeff, which I'll talk about that one in a second. But this is their newer, I don't really like this style. This is their touch. I bought it just because I wanted to see it. This is their touch dimmer to kind of compete with the Treat Life one. But it is a Tuya module. You can, of course, look, it's very simple to get to. And if you're curious, real quick, and this probably bore everybody, is besides maybe two, is what the whole Tuya MCU thing is. When I say Tuya MCU, I know this can be confusing. This technically is a Tuya MCU. I guess with a microprocessor central. I guess I'm confused it all up. It's too late. The doohickey. This is the Tuya ESP module here. Microcontrol. See, I was close. Now, the Tuya module is not attached typically to any of the buttons. So the buttons like you see on the front, the Tuya ESP module, I'm confusing myself, is not connected to any of the buttons. All it is a stupid, dumb, bent pipe for the most part. That's what Tasmota is doing. I gotta drink something here. I'm getting too cottonmouth. It's just passing Wi-Fi to serial RxTX lines, which is kind of like your old dial-up modem. And this basically the command may come over Wi-Fi, like an MQTT will come across through the antenna to Tasmota, and Tasmota tells this chip, hey, set the dimmer level to 50. And then this chip sets the dimmer level to 50, sends it back, hey, I set the dimmer level to 50 now. And then it updates Tasmota and then sends MQTT back out. So you can see that it's just a bent pipe. It's simply taking communication and going out. And that's what the whole Tuya MCU is. And you just go in and go pick, typically, you don't have to do no templates on none of these. Go in and pick Tuya module out of the configure module screen. It's boom, it's done. And then you gotta tell Tasmota the DPIDs, hey, here's relay 1, here's the dimmer. And so, but you can see this one comes with the Tuya module. Well, the Tuya ESP module. Well, supposedly this wasn't supposed to come this way. And supposedly they're going to actually send me I complained to them so much, and I said that, hey, y'all can make a device that a lot of people will want, is another switch, dimmer, whatever, with a true DIY pin header where we can just flash them. And I've been trying to get them to make a plug too, but they don't like money or something. I don't know. But some of these had pin headers already on them. Oh, and the other feature I did like about what they did, this is the dimmer range. This is the lower dimmer range. So basically you put the dimmer, and a lot of their later dimmers had this. This is at the bottom, you can't see it from the front. You put the dimmer all the way down to 0, and then you change this wheel just where you see the bulbs, and that way you don't get this, like where 20% is 20 to 0 is nothing. You want to actually get it all the way down where you can just see the bulbs. So, but yeah, they do have, which is a also good thing, is on the, now it's not going to, none of these aren't going to be Tuya convert, but you can see they are very easy to jig or serial flash through soldering or whatever. Martin Jerry 3-way. And no, that's not a name of any type of crazy movie, YouTube, that you're listening to me. We're not talking craziness. They have the rotary. I didn't like the rotary dimmer too much. There's another dimmer here. 3-way, there's a touch dimmer. So they've got, I want to say 3 dimmers now. And the one I'm looking for, and of course I can't find it because they all starting to look the same to me. There's a smart switch. They actually change, here it is. I actually did a video on it a while back. And but the problem was, it was RTL based. It wasn't even ESP based. And so I told people, hey, I wasn't going to run it. And I wasn't going to recommend it. It wasn't ESP based. Well, they switched that dimmer to ESP 8266s now. So it's quite different. They switched from a non-ESP to an ESP chip. And they claim that the Wi-Fi on the non-ESP was not that great, but the ESP was. It does work with Tasmota. You do need to use that set option 97 for the Martin Jerry 3-way because just like with the rotary, they changed the baud rate. So that's kind of the long thing on the dimmer. So they have the 3-way dimmer. And you do have to get like they have the little add-on switch where it looks like the same on the other side. So, what else did I miss? So, no, now Martin Jerry has they're going to have the chips that we can flash. Athem's going to try to, I'm sure, as long as they can with the chips we can flash and come pre-flash. So there's still somewhat hope. I know Shelly has been changing to some of that newer stuff that's not ESP based. But yeah, where's that? Let me find those pictures. I know everybody that doesn't watch all the videos, but you should, right? Let me pull it up. You can't say such a thing. Non-MQTT. Why would you want to say non-MQTT? Where's the fan controller? Here it is. Let me size it. So it does look the same. You'll notice it does look pretty much the same. Yeah, I know. I'm just picking with you because MQTT is like, I wish everything spoke local MQTT because like MQTT is the hub of my system. But this looks kind of the same, except you do get that other row of pins. And if you looked in the video, there was they did a transplant of there's a dimmer plug that Treat Life has. I gotta find his picture of the transplant. I probably could just pull up the video and find the transplant. I got too many ESP chips in one spot. Here it is. I think he was having to hold, that's ground, I think. I think he was having to hold this pin to ground. But this was there's a dimmer plug. It's a Treat Life dimmer plug. It had and they did a transplant on it. Link to the dimmer plug. Yeah. But I'll tell you for a fact is this dimmer plug is not ESP based. You will need to do a transplant like this. And you'll notice, here's the issue I had, which my whole thing was they still use the Tuya MCU. I thought, and I know there's some others that, hey, they're changing chips because, if you do any Googling or anything, it's no secret that the ESP 8266 sucks at PWM. Put 6 PWMs on an ESP8266, put it in a low Wi-Fi area, and ping it. It's not going to be pretty. Even less than 6. It sucks. It's at PWM. So it makes sense for them to do a Tuya MCU that is good at PWM. Well, it even makes more sense. Why don't we make one chip that does Wi-Fi, everything else, and does good PWM? Well, I thought they were doing that, but they still put the Tuya MCU in it. They just changed the chip. So, hopefully, Espressive will knock it out of the park with that pin for pin ESP32 that they're coming out with. So, it's supposed to, when I was reading about it, it's supposed to be the same cost as the ESP8266, but I know that they're all these other companies, they're undercutting. They're trying to undercut. I mean, think of how many devices. Don't look into Home Assistant, Smart Things, whatever. Just look at the average soccer mom. Sally's out there on Amazon. She's like, oh, hey, give me some smart bulbs. And she orders these smart bulbs. Oh, I can get this switch. And then there's the dimmer plug. And she's like, oh, Smart Life app. And so how many does she order? And then she tells her friends. So you got to think of all those devices. And if they could save like 10 cents a device, I mean, they're going to do it. And so if you have some other company that come in and undercut with their microcontroller, this is going to happen. So, I found that link before. There's like ESP32C2. Maybe someone else remembers it. That I got too many numbers. I forgot what it was. C3. I was close. The ESP32C3. Now, one thing that worries me about some of these new ones, are they going to have a way to totally lock the flash memory where we can't flash to them? And I haven't looked through the whole data sheet and seen what they, that looks, I mean, look at it. It's the ESP32-C3. So are they going to, I know, Patrick, you're saying, I've heard that. I just want to, are they going to lock it where I've seen some people glitching them and stuff and able to get in and they were able to dump the encrypted ones, but it's just to see what they're going to do. If they can totally lock us out, and if they do, then hopefully maybe someone else can put some ESP32C3s in some devices, maybe like Atham or Martin Jerry or somebody. So it just has to see. And that's kind of my longer extended thing that I was talking about at the end of the video. Just the world, it's changing, and it's changing more and more. And I know y'all see it too, it's these just today in Discord. Let me see if I can pull up the picture. And how many, it was, I think it was Hobby Boy or something like that. He posted, if I can find it. Nope. It was the downlight, I think. If anybody can find that picture. Maybe it was in Tuya Convert. I'm looking on Discord right now. Here it is. This was the Zigbee Smart 6-inch, I believe. And it's hard to see here, but if you look, it looks like the ESP chip and square, got the pins on it, but these little fins right here are not. And look at all the pins. this used to be a downlight that you could just pop the diffuser off, and they had the pins right here. Even had it labeled RX, TX, GPIO 0, 3v3, ground, etc. I mean, it was, you can see here they had ground 3v3. But this, I saw this, I was like, ugh, that's not ESP. So this downlights, that's a no-go. I think that was a 6-inch Zigbee Smart. So, so it's happening. I mean, it's, you look at some of the bulbs. There was somebody did a whole thing on the Treat Life bulbs and how to open them. They had some nice tunable, just, you know, warm white, cool white bulbs, but halfway through they switched them. So, I couldn't see the exact chip. I just knew I was out and about, Patrick, and I didn't say I didn't see exactly what the chip was, so I just knew it wasn't ESP8266. So ESP32 on, I saw some stuff about that on the ESP32, and it's probably the last thing I'm going to have to go over unless somebody really gets me off on a different tangent again. Let's see if I can pull it up. I've been seeing, if you look at the closed, I'll pull this over to the other side. These are the pull requests for, which is kind of, you can see some of the features and stuff of Tasmota. So they're doing a lot of stuff in ESP32. And let's see, ESP, can we do a search like that? Like it contains? Maybe it's going to pull up way too much. But I saw there was a lot, there's been a lot of stuff that has ESP32 going on in the Tasmota pull request. So it's pretty cool to see. And I've got that, I still have that BLE thing running. Well, I unplugged it today. But it's been running fine, pulling all the BLE stuff with ESP32. You see they updated ESP32. Yeah, so there was a lot of, I know there was a lot of change. I don't know where I saw that exactly, Patrick. I just saw there was a lot of movement on the ESP32 side for the 9.2. I see there's ESP32. Look, right, there's ESP, here it is, ESP32 spiffs. Saw that. There was a bunch of different things for ESP32. And look, like we can just see, hell, if we search for ESP32, there's 22 things just on this page. So, so pretty cool that they are. I don't see any, I don't have any like switches, light bulbs, anything. Well, I take that back. I do have a LifeX bulb, but flashing ESP32 on that's kind of a pain. Yeah. So I don't have any production. Now I do have, nose itching here now. Somebody's thinking about me, I guess. Maybe the wife says come to bed, right? I did order one. I know Adamo posted about it. We'll pull that up. You know you're a true geek, or maybe just a smart one. I know I've said this before. I'm going to post it in here. Is the FCC-IO. This is the Wise Outdoor Wi-Fi Smart Plug. And you can go grab the internal photos. And I want to bring up one, I keep bumping the mic here. One particular photo. So never say never, and we'll find out soon. I'm going to zoom in real close here. Is take a look at the chip. I'm zooming even closer for mobile users. ESP32 is going to be in the Wise outdoor plug. So, so if we can get ESP, and I haven't, there's another idea, but I know there's going to be this RF can on it. I know I guess they would have to have signed firmware too, but I guess you could actually flash the chip on the side, but I guess they would have to, if it's signed firmware, that wouldn't help. So we'll find out if they use the signed firmware. Yeah, I saw there was, I don't know if it had, I know it had power monitoring, but they did have, you'll notice on the pins, is ground, RX, TX, there's boot. I'm sure there's some, oh, here it is. Look, 3v3 and ground. So rock and roll there. Maybe we can flash this guy. Is it going to be wide open like this with no RF can on it? I don't know. Because that's just going to be, a lot of times they do tear these things down for the, I don't know if it's separate power monitoring. Yeah, it's always, it's crazy. I've gone through many times and looking at devices on Amazon, and I'm like, please, somebody had turned the light bulb or turned the smart switch on the back so I could see the model number or the FCC ID. I can go look it up. Now, don't do that with Tekken stuff, because they're known to post the same FCC ID but swap the entire chip inside to something else. So yeah, that's, I know it says dual relay. I guess it's dual relay. It looks like it would be possibly, I don't know if it's dual power monitoring. I went and ordered one, but just because, the only reason I ordered one because it was ESP32. I didn't even read freaking Wise's website. I just like, oh, that was another something to play with. So, the smartwatch. Now I already have a smartwatch, and I haven't got into, Wise has been, Wise has been, they're getting to be too fragmented. I see. And that's just my opinion. There's too many devices at one time. And I know that we were waiting on the Wise sensors. Nope. I don't think that's going to be a thing. So, speaking of Wise, sorry about that. The Wise 3 camera, still sitting on the desk because I'm waiting. Hey, can we get to play around with the RTSP firmware? Nope. So, the RTSP firmware, I kind of sucked on the version 2. Maybe it won't as bad on the version 3, but that's just, but yeah. So they have the Wise sensors. Yeah, I know they have. I saw them, but you had to get the whole kit. I'm so blinded by looking at that. It's on. There we go. Where's the sensors at? Yeah, see, it was like you had to buy. Yeah, look. Well, there it is. I'm probably not seeing it because I have my screen scrunched down. $20 smartwatch. I would expect a $20 smartwatch, to be honest with you. Yeah. See, this is what I saw the pay. You had to pay for it and everything, and you get the whole. I mean, I think it's great, probably for a typical person that's just want to throw in a little cheap little system and call it a day. But that's not what we're doing. So, is there going to be any type of API or anything? I mean, I'll just tell you now, probably not. You hammering about this smartwatch. Let's see what the smartwatch does. Is there really a massive difference between 3 millimeters? Lightweight, fitness tracking, 9-day. Does it do NFC? That, I guess that's my thing. Does it do NFC? If it doesn't do NFC, then I'm out. Because I use the NFC crap on mine all the time. That's just freaking awesome. Probably the number one usage, because I don't respond. I'll read some stuff on it. I use the freaking NFC on it for doing for Android Pay or Google Pay, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I was so spoiled. I've been using the NFC stuff 2012. I think that was back on it was an HTC phone. And I think I forgot what they called it, like Google. I forgot what they called it then, but that was like 2012. So potential shipping delays. Yeah, no crap. You look what day it is, yo. Yeah, RFID, and then here you go. 3D printer. I had my older Prusa MK discontinued MK2, I think it is, i3. I bought it. It was a lot cheaper then, and I put it together. Great printer. Yeah. It was. They would think it was the HTC. Like, you got me wondering. I think it was 8. It was when I was with Sprint Evo LTE 4G. I think it was the phone I never got to use 4G on. Not sour at all. I forgot what was the release date. There you go. So it's 2012. So no, not doing. I'll pass on Samsung. So I will pass. I've done my stuff with Samsung phones. Pass. They've gotten better with the overlay, but I just don't like the overlay stuff they do. Just give me vanilla. Like Motorola gets it right. I'm trying to think of another company that does it. They do really close to vanilla Android. But do vanilla Android. I just got my Pixel 5 and a pretty good phone. I no complaints on it. So OnePlus is missing some. I use AT&T, and they're missing a couple LTE bands. That's why I didn't go OnePlus. Yeah, I love the vanilla Android. Just give me plain Jane. None of this goobly gobbly crap. I just want my stuff. So, yeah, OnePlus, if they would fix their LTE bands, I would use probably the OnePlus stuff. So that's only my issue with the OnePlus stuff. So, all right. Yeah, if I had to do it over again, I would have gotten the Pixel 4a. They got so many. The 4a 5G. If I had to do it over again, it was a little larger screen. I think that's what it was. Yeah, and I mean it's $459 for their phone. I mean it's the one thing that got me on it was when I was scrolling down looking through it is if you look right here, you're like, oh, well, there's no 4K video. Where's 4K video? Well, if you hit the thing open, there it is. But I was glancing through, looking through, and you did the comparison. And then there was something else. Now, I saw they changed this. The charging wasn't showing fast charging either. And you had to, here it is. You had to click it to get the fast charging. Well, when they had a chart, and that was marketing, it got me. It had a chart comparing the 5 and the 4A 5G. And I was like, oh, I want the larger screen. But I was like, oh, I need the wireless charging, and I would like the 4K video. But Yeah, so there's a couple things, and this one does come with a headphone jack. So I missed my headphone jack. So yeah, I don't need all that crazy. It's the wireless, the not wireless, the quick charging it has now is nuts. I mean, not nuts, but it's plenty enough for me. So, yeah. Oh, I haven't compared the Google Photo thing. I know they did a lot of changes to that, but there's not a lot of it's the same processor. There's a couple different 5G bands, but who gives a crap? There's not much 5G anyway, and that's the whole ordeal anyway. But yeah, so I just wanted the bigger screen is my big thing on it. So yeah, see, it's kind of like I kind of look at it with the vanilla Android. Is I like getting all the features instead of waiting. I know Samsung's been great, but the way they put everything and all those apps, that just drives me nuts. It would be kind of like if you think about if you downloaded Home Assistant, you installed it, but then it would install like 20 different add-ons, configure them for you, get all in and it would put cards all on your Lovelace, and then some of them were stuck on Lovelace and you couldn't move them. That's the way I feel. And then you can't theme everything you want with some of the Samsung. So that's just drives me nuts. Just give me the vanilla and rock and roll. But we're not going to start all that. Maybe we did. Yeah. Have you ever tried? What is good luck? Or just being pushy again? Is that what it is? Yeah, luckily you can disable them. That's a good thing. So, all right, peeps. Y'all trying to drag me down into a rabbit hole of nonsense between phones. So, but other than that, we're gonna rock and roll. I got work tomorrow, and I know they're gonna want to pile in so many days of work. Everybody wants everything before Christmas holidays, so that's what's gonna happen. So, all right, if everybody got everything out there, I know we kind of jumped around and everything, but yeah, if make sure. I know one person caught one thing in today's video. I always hide stuff around in some of the videos, and not everybody sees them. So that's a shame. So, last question. Programmer. Used to be, see how I can do it real quick. In the oil field, I did instrumentation work, so you'll know that's where that comes from. I had no formal training on it. Learned a lot of stuff on the fly because you didn't have parts and you had to fix stuff and just make it work. Did that offshore and land for several years, and then I did a lot of hardware stuff for a large brown shipping company, and did a little bit of software, but hardware was kind of going out. So then I got out of that and went to software. So yeah, so that's kind of where all that goes into. But yeah, that's real quick. That's the short version, which is hard for me to do. All right. Y'all take care. And I don't know if I'm going to do another one before Christmas or not. But if not, have a happy, Merry Christmas or whatever y'all do out there for holidays. Enjoy some time off, some analog time off. So that's what we're going to do. And let's see. Last time y'all complained because I hit the end stream button and it cut me off. So I'm just going to sit here in silence and be like frozen. And then I'll hit the button.